welcome back to another session of biochemistry classes. So in today's class we will continue with the molecular techniques that we did. So we'll go on to the next molecular technique, that's the blotting techniques. So this blotting technique also similar to the PCR procedure. You will have to write it down in your record notebooks. The theory which is given, you have please write it in the rule side, and the diagram per se you have to draw it in the unruled side. So blotting techniques, we'll go on to the introduction. It is transfer. Blot transfer is a technique which is used for visualization of a specific DNA or an RNA or a protein which among thousands of molecules you can look for. So this molecular blotting technique you have of three types: the southern, northern, and the western blot technique. So the southern blotting technique is used to deduct the DNA molecule, the northern blot for the RNA molecule, and then the western blot for the protein itself, right? So what do you understand by blotting? The definition is it's a transfer of a DNA which is separated by the agarose gel electrophoresis onto a filter paper or a membrane, and this procedure we call it as blotting. So Edward Southern first developed this technique to separate and transfer the DNA fragment, and that process we call it as a southern blotting. Then there are techniques that helps in separation of the RNA and the proteins, and we call this as a northern and the western blotting technique. So first we'll go on to the southern blotting technique. So we said that it is helpful introduction of the specific DNA sequence. So the steps which are involved here is the extraction of the DNA from the tissue, that is isolation of the DNA from the tissues or from the cell line, right? And this is subjected to digestion with one or more of the enzyme, that is restriction endonucleases. Then after this mixture is pipetted and put into a well in an agarose gel, and this process is subjected to an electric field, that is by electrophoresis. So DNA which is negatively charged migrates towards the anode, right? And then the smaller fragments move much more rapidly than the bigger fragments, right? And after this, when it gets separated, these fragments are subjected to the nitrocellulose paper, or we call it as a nylon paper in a gel, and by the blotting technique you can separate the DNA fragments. So after this you subject it or denature it with an mild alkali. Here we are using sodium hydroxide, and then it is labeled with a radioactively labeled probe, okay, and then it is added to the nitrocellulose membrane. So in southern blot we use a probe that is 32P. DNA is used as a probe, right? And then we expose this to an X-ray film which we call it as a radio autograph, and these DNA fragments can be recognized and the sequence can be studied. So this whole process we call it as the southern blotting technique, right? So in the next we'll see the flowchart about how the southern blot technique takes place. So from the genomic DNA, right, which is isolated from a cell line or a tissue is isolated, and then it is digested with one or more of the restriction endonucleases, and the DNA is spliced into small or the bigger fragments. Now this mixture is pipetted and it is taken into the agarose gel or a polyacrylamide gel, and it is exposed, and here there is a electric current that is passed, that is by the process of electrophoresis. The DNA being very negatively charged, migrates towards the anode and it is separated. Okay, then you can see the single stranded DNA fragment. Okay, and this we can separate it. Then what happens after this? This is subjected to a mild alkali, or also it can be subjected to a nitrocellulose paper, and then it is exposed to the labeled cDNA probe, which is hybridized, okay, by the label that is here. You can see the P32P DNA probe is used in the southern blot technique, and then it is washed and it is exposed to the autoradiograph or the X-ray film, and then you find the DNA fragments that can be read on the autoradiograph film, and this DNA fragment can be utilized for the sequencing process. So now when this is the whole process of southern blot technique. So next we'll go on to what are the applications of the southern blot or the uses of southern blot. So it helps in gene discovery, then it helps in mapping, okay, and then in evolution and developmental studies, diagnosis of any particular disease, and also in forensic medicine. So we use, by this here, we use the DNA fingerprinting and the RFLP maps, that is the restriction fragment length polymorphism maps, are used in forensic medicine. Then it is also helpful in identification of the transferred genes in transgenic individuals, etc., and also to study the genetic rearrangements. Okay, so this is about the southern blotting technique. So it helps in identifying the DNA fragment, and it is also helpful in a number of things, like for gene discovery, also it helps in diagnosis of certain diseases, forensic medicine, also in genetic rearrangement. So next we'll go on to the next blotting technique, that is the northern blotting technique. It is a technique that allows the identification of a specific mRNA sequence of a definite length by hybridization to a labeled gene probe. In northern blot, again we use the 32P DNA probe, okay, similar to the southern blot. So this is used for the analysis of RNA, and it can determine the presence, the size of the transcript, and it also determines the steady state level. Now, what are the applications of the northern blot? A standard for the study of the gene expression at the level of the mRNA, that is a messenger RNA transcript, and it also helps in detection of the mRNA transcript size. Okay, so what is the procedure? We'll have a look at the next flow chart. Okay, so what did we say? RNA is useful for the RNA can be deducted. So from the cells, okay, or the northern blot, the RNA is extracted here, right? And when it is extracted, it is subjected to the electrophoresis, right? It is denatured, and then by agarose gel electrophoresis, you get it, right? Then before the blot transfer, this requires some transfer steps, those of the DNA transfer similarly, primarily to ensure that the RNA remains intact, and generally somewhat more difficult process than the DNA that is obtained by southern blot technique. So after the RNA bands are obtained, what is it after that? It is subjected to autoradiograph, and then you can see but the DNA probe hybridizes to a single RNA transcript, as you can see in the last picture. Okay, so this is the whole process of northern blot technique. So next we'll go on to the other technique, that is the western blot technique. So what is the western blot? It is a technique which involves electrophoresis of the protein followed by the deduction with an antibody directed against the protein of interest. So here in Western blot, the probe that is used here is an enzyme linked antibodies, not like the DNA itself, which is used in the northern blot and in the southern blot. So in the Western blot, we use an enzyme linked antibody. So for the analysis of the protein, can determine the presence, the size of the protein and the steady state level. So the probe that is here, which is used, we call it as the antibody or the enzyme linked antibody. Now what are the applications of the Western blot? So Western blot, as we've studied before, it is to determine the expression of the proteins, right? And then to measure the efficacy of the gene knockdown using siRNA, that is the small RNAs interrupting RNAs, and then these siRNAs are double-stranded RNAs, right? So to check the presence of the absence of a protein in a particular disease, example, you have the HIV, and then to determine the efficacy of the drugs and also to elucidate the signaling pathways. So these are all the uses of Western blot technique. So next we'll have a look at how the process of Western blot technique is done. So the polypeptide chain from the protein, it is here. So then this is subjected to separate the RNAs by STS polyacrylamide gel. Okay. Then it is transferred the protein to the polymer sheet, and then this polymer sheet is exposed to the radio label specific antibodies. Okay, so after this, the radio label specific antibodies, when it is exposed, you find that you get the protein bands are deducted by specific antibodies and are exposed to the film, that is autoradiograph. You find on the x-rays the protein fragments or the protein bands you can estimate or you can look for. So this is the Western blot technique. So what did we do today? We finished with the Southern blot technique, the Northern blot technique and the Western blot technique, right? So in the Southern blot technique, the DNA is a material that is going to be analyzed, and then by electrophoresis you can agarose gel electrophoresis, you can obtain the different DNA fragments by applying an electric field. DNA being highly negative moves much more faster the smaller fragments, and this is subjected to denaturation by exposing it to the mild alkali, that is NaOH, and then it is transferred to the nitrocellulose paper, and then by exposing it to the autoradiograph you can find, which is exposed to the labeled, that is we use here is 32p DNA is used in the Southern blot. Then it is subjected to autoradiograph. On the X-ray sheet you can see the DNA fragments corresponding. Okay, and then you have the next blotting technique, that is the Northern blot, which is used for analysis of the RNA, right? And here again we require the electrophoresis, and then the probe that is used here, it is the 32p DNA, right? And then the last we looked was the Western blot technique. For here the analyzed material is the protein, and here again you require the electrophoresis required, but the probe here that is used is the enzyme linked antibodies, right? So these are the different blotting techniques which you will have to remember. So the blotting technique comes as a short note, then you will have to write in detail the all the three blotting technique along with the diagram, and also you should see to that you write the correct applications for each and every blotting techniques. So make sure you write this whole experiment in your record notebooks, and also I hope you've written the PCR technique also in your record notebooks. So see to that you've completed both the all the demo experiments in your record notebook. Okay. So PCR comes as a short. PCR also comes as a short note. Blotting technique also comes as a short note, or individually the Western blot or the Northern blot can come as a 3-mark question. Okay. So thank you. Have a nice day.